Hi, I got a question and recently that is absolutely one of my favorite questions. How do I know if my dream is about the past or about the future? This is so good for several reasons. One, if you're asking this questions, it means you're treating your dreams like intelligence, which is good. Instead of just a dream being a dream, or you're thinking it's a random collection of thoughts or pizza or whatever, you've realized that all dreams come from God and that dreams are intelligence and actionable intelligence. They're providing you direction to do something. I think of Joseph, the father of Jesus in the Bible, where the angel of the Lord appears to him and he says, "Leave right now and go to Egypt. Herod is trying to kill the boy." And so that was actionable. It had a time frame. He knew what was required. He knew he needed to do it right then. And he knew it was about the future and it was about things going on in the current context. So, how do you know if you have a dream? God, are you talking about the future of my life? Are you talking about the past of my life? Here's a couple of things to look for: context clues. Always look for, does God use symbols that are talking about my past? So if you're looking at, if you're in a school and it's grade school and you're in your second grade classroom, that may be an indication that God is talking about either your past or something from your past. It could be a classmate, it could be a teacher, it could be the name of the teacher, it could be the name of the school, but somehow it's related in the language of God, it's related to the context of your past. And so that may be a clue that, wow, okay, I'm 50 years old. I'm not in second grade anymore. Is God talking about me going back to school? Why did he use second grade? Ask the deeper questions. Why not 10th grade? Why did he pick that school when I went to Catholic school in second grade versus when I went to a Christian school in high school? Why didn't he choose college? What are the things that he is saying? And what is the context? So general settings is a context. Another one is your age. Have you ever had a dream and you're like, yeah, I felt like I was in my 20s and I'm not in my 20s? God may be talking about a time when you were in your 20s. He can talk about maybe a dream that you had, about a destiny or a prophetic word that was spoken over you that you need to step into. But he's indicating that there's a time frame related to the past, and this begins to move you in the direction of thinking about context clues related to the past. Another one is people. This is another favorite question that people have. What if I have a dream of a loved one that's passed away? Man, I dreamt about my grandma, but she's been gone for like 10 years. Okay, well, clearly God is talking about the past, and whether the time frame is the past, he's relating something to the past. And it may be a feeling you had when you ate your grandmother's cookies and you knew that everything was going to be okay, right? Or it could be about being at your grandma's house. It could be about things that happened around a context that he's going to put in your mind's eye and in your spirit that's going to cause a level of both emotion, and it's going to cause an anchor in your mind of, oh yeah, I remember that was the dream about grandma. I was sitting in her living room eating cookies like I did when I was 5 years old. Okay, now that's a double context because you're remembering when you were five and you're remembering when your grandma was alive. And so those are two context clues that he's indicating something in the past. Now, what about the future? This is awesome. Have you ever had a dream and you were someplace with some people and you didn't recognize it? And you're like, it was vivid. Sometimes people have a dream that's so vivid, they're like, if I saw these people again, I would know who they are, but I've never seen them. I've never seen them on TV. They're not friends of mine. I don't have any idea who they are or what it's referring to. That could be a future appointment for you. If it feels a little bit obtuse, like it seems specific because there were these details. There were cobblestones in the road. There was a wrought iron fence to the right. There was a row of white houses to the left. And it seems very specific. But again, it doesn't ring a bell in your memory. A lot of times God will bring up a memory and you'll remember, hey, that's like the street one over from the street I had a paper route on when I was 10 years old. And you're thinking, how could I remember that? Because God put it in there and he'll evoke those memories if it's about the past. If it doesn't ping on anything, if you're like, man, it's real specific, but I don't know where it was. That could be because either you're meant to research it and find it, which is future, because when you have the dream, you don't know it now. And now you have to research it and find it. And God could be talking about an event that happened at this location a while back. So you still have to look, just because it's one part of the context, look at all of the context. Here's some questions to ask. Is it about the past or is it about the future? Number one, what do I recognize? Is it the house I grew up in? Is it the street I lived on? Is it the school I went to second grade in? What about the setting do I recognize? And what time frame in my life was happening in that setting? Now, warning, you can dream beyond your lifetime. You could dream that you were in Berlin at the fall of Berlin at the end of World War II. You may not have even been alive then, but God is clearly talking about something in that context. And I can't tell you how many people have dreamt about things like important historical events that were before they were ever born. It's so much fun to go and see what God is saying about them. Two, what is your age in the dream? And if you just feel like you are you, then you may not have a context clue related to your age. But if you're like, yeah, in the dream, I was 10 years old, that's a clear indication that God is wanting to put you in the mind frame of when you were 10. And so you need to begin to think of that and begin to ask the Holy Spirit, show me, what is this about? Is it about my past? Was this a wound that I got in my heart, or a trauma that happened to me? Or was this a promise that was made? Or was this about something that relates to now? But God is clearly talking to you about your past. Number three, who are the people in the dream? Well, it was my ex and I haven't seen him for 10 years. Well, it might be talking about something 10 years ago. So the age of the people in the dream, and the people in the dream from what time frame of your life. Four would be, what are you doing? Well, I was skiing, but I haven't skied in 10 years. Okay, well, that's interesting. What happened the last time you went skiing? Oh, I fell and broke my leg and got in a horrible accident. God could be talking about not just 10 years ago, but about skiing, about your leg, and wanting to point to something specifically. That's why he didn't just give you a dream about something that happened 10 years ago. He gave you the specifics of this kind of formula. So look for those things. And again, the future, sometimes it could be vague. It could be obtuse. It could seem opaque or gray. Or there may be explicit details, but you can't connect them. They don't land anywhere in your heart or in your mind or in your spirit as being a part of a time frame that you were a part of, or even a part of history. Now, there can be technologies that you don't understand. I had a dream that I was flying and I didn't have a jetpack on or anything. I was just flying through the air. Okay, well, could that be a future technology? I had a dream that I threw a paper cup in the gas tank of my car and it ran my car. Could that be a future technology? I had a dream so-and-so was president. And so is an actor in Hollywood, just like Trump was, right? And God can begin to show you things about the future down the road. If it doesn't match the present, and if it's not recognizable in the past, it may very well be about the future. Now, again, remember, God sees time differently than we do. We see time as linear, as point A to point B, point B to point A, right? And God doesn't see it that way. He's outside of time. So if you pull yourself outside of time and you begin to look at the context clues, God can show you some things. Now, another thing would be even the context of what you're writing down in the dream. I was in a dream and I had a gold Trans Am. Okay, you knew you had it, but you weren't driving it in the dream, but it's knowledge about your past. And I knew I was going to become the president of a company. If you've never been the president of a company, that may be talking about a future promotion or something. And the gold Trans Am could remind you of a time, if you had one, when things were moving very, very quickly in your life. So God may be saying a promotion in the future is coming very, very quickly, but it's about the future, even though he uses a context about the past. So this is why we teach the Joseph method, where we give you the 5 different steps that Joseph used to interpret the dreams of Pharaoh, to be able to put all the clues down and discern from God what all of the clues mean, and then put the whole dream together and then have actionable intelligence. You can find this in our spiritual intelligence module 1 and module 2 courses. There's even some of this in the advanced dream interpretation courses at dreamlifedecoded.com. But the answer to this question is absolutely fun and phenomenal. And when you begin to ask questions like this about your dreams, God, is it about the past or is it about the future? God will take you places that you haven't been in a long time, or possibly take you places that you're yet to go to, or even give you intel outside of your lifetime, like 300 years ago, and he'll take you places that you've never been. So abandon yourself to the journey of discovery, dive in, ask God, what is the time frame that you're speaking about in this dream? Is this action I should take in the future, or is this correcting a mindset I had about the past? He will meet you in that place, and he will give you the intelligence that you need.